Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Child Rights Protection and Welfare. On today's topic, I will be talking about the best practices and the challenges in child rights protection. So by last week I was talking about several topics. I touched topics such as how lessons from past experiences of child abuse incidents, how we can use that as a medium of education and correction of policies to enhance how child rights protection is being implemented. You can check that on our YouTube at Udom-Udofia, and you can also check that on this platform as you're looking at it right now. It's just last week, so you can check what I taught there as of last week. So today, what are the best practices? I'll first of all touch the best practices in child rights protection. Because in child rights protection, the balance between addressing challenges and implementing best practices are of paramount importance. Okay, so while in every child life, in every family, and in every community, they have unique circumstances. Okay, there are unique circumstances when it comes to the life of every child, the life of a family, then it comes down to the community. They may have these unique circumstances. And these unique circumstances has been, they have some universal principles. And approaches, and this principle has been identified as being effective in implementing the child rights principles in those areas. So what are these best practices? Well, what I mean by best practices is that things that some implementation, some child rights strategies that help promote, encourage, and enhance the well-being of a child. Pardon me if I always say a child. When I say a child, it's like saying man needs a child. I'm actually talking about all the children. So sometimes I use children, sometimes I use child. So when I say child, everything I'm saying, it has to do with every other children. Okay, so the number one best practice that can be effective, that has been universally practiced and identified to be effective, number one is child-centered approach. Yes, what this means is that in every child protection initiatives, it is very crucial to prioritize the child, their needs, rights, and overall well-being. That is what I'm talking about, child-centered approach. This should be at the forefront of all the efforts all our efforts as parents, teachers, caregiver, communities, then adults, they should be at the uttermost, priorities. So this also means that you have to be effectively and actively involve children when it comes to decision making process, and also ensuring that their voices are both heard and are also respected. It's all about the safety of the child. Let it always be about the well-being of the child. So the number 2 best practice is preventive measures. So instead of us to always be relying solely on reactive solutions, that means we are waiting for the situation to happen, for child rights to be abused, so that we start running helter-skelter trying to save the child, trying to rescue the child. Instead of that, we can implement preventive measures. Like they say, prevention is better than cure. So it is important to prioritize preventive measures such as community education, like what I have been doing. I am educating the communities. I am educating the public out there. Such as community education and awareness programs. Things like that could help, measure out preventive measures. People need to be educated. People need to be exposed to what child right protection is and what it is for it to be abused. Alright. So these initiatives can help address potential issues before they escalate. Shouldn't wait for it to claim the life of a child or children. Shouldn't wait for that child to get hurt before actions and preventive measures are being implemented and carried out. Alright. So the third one is capacity building. Capacity building is very crucial when it comes to child protection. It involves providing ongoing trainings for professionals, teachers, tutors, caregiver, and every adult. We build the capacity for child right protection and welfare. So this ensures that these people that you are grown, even the children. That is one of the things that our organization, Udom Foundation, is setting out to do this year. Going to children's centers, schools, to educate the teachers, the school staff members, the children on child right protection, on how they can protect themselves from being harmed. So that is building capacity. So you educate all-round professionals, the children themselves, on child right protection. So when you do this, you ensure that they are equipped with the latest knowledge, skills, and intervention strategies. That is what building capacity will help us to do, and that is what we do here in this organization. It also helps them to stay updated on the latest research and technologies in the field. So you update them, you carry them along. Alright, that is it for capacity building. Then the fourth one is multi-agency collaboration. So capacity runs down to, it is very important as it is in the child protection. So this multi-agency collaboration has to do with the professionals, everybody under the field, everybody that their profession. I don't mean the profession that you have to just, maybe you have to be certified. Okay, for instance, as a parent, do you need to be certified to be a parent to your child? You don't need that. You give birth to that child either by adoption or so many ways that the technology has been provided for people to have children through any means, through all these means now. When you have a child, you don't need to be certified, right? So this has to do with, the collaboration has to do with both you, the parent, then the certified professionals like the teachers, child right protection agencies, and so on. We have to collaborate. This will ensure that these people are equipped. We are equipped with the latest knowledge and skills and intervention strategies about child rights. It also helps us to stay updated on the latest research, like I said before. It's the same thing as building capacity. When you build capacity, for you to be able to build capacity, we have to collaborate together. We have to collaborate. It's not a one man's thing. It is the responsibility of every adult out there to work hand in hand to implement child right protection strategies effectively. So the fifth one, the best. Remember, I'm still talking about the best practices in child protection. The fifth one is cultural sensitivity. So this has to do with recognizing and respecting cultural differences in every cultural and traditional environment. What I'm trying to say is that I want to give you this example. There are some cultural beliefs that are harmful to children. There are some cultural beliefs that the policies being implemented in that environment is either harmful or favorable to some particular children, then is the other way around to some particular set of children. Policies like female mutilation, child early marriages, the environment that female education is not promoted, is not accepted, and all that, or the environment that the policies being implemented are only favorable to the female, not the male. For instance, remember before the time of Mary Slessor, there was a time that if you give birth to a twin, those twins will be murdered. It will be taken as a diabolical something in some parts of Nigeria here, until that policy was aborted. One thing about cultural beliefs is that sometimes when you think about it, it's suffocating. It's quite suffocating, and it's enslaving some certain kind of people, some certain set of people. The same thing goes when it comes to the rights of children. Some policies are enslaving children. So there are a lot of policies. I'll give you more options. For instance, where I come from, a lot of little children from the age of 3, 5, 8, that they were born with some certain, personal needs, special children. They are considered them to be witches and wizards. And you need to see the way they are being punished by their parents and others. Some of them are being chained against the wall, chained with padlock against the tree, under the tree. They treat them like mad. They say they are mad. They are witches and wizards. Some of them have been taken away from. Some of them have been thrown out of their houses, on the streets. They stigmatize them that they are witches and wizards. When you think about all these things, this cultural beliefs, this mentality is demeaning. How can you say a child, okay, if the child is a witch, are there no such thing as deliverance? So you give birth to a child, you throw the child away, for God's sake. That's wicked. Then we also have, in the olden days, a child with epilepsy will be considered as, maybe from the east, as what they call a banje. Though that child is not to mingle with other child, the child will be stigmatized, will be sidelined, will be discriminated. But this is a sickness that needs medical attention. And there are some culture that still practice that. Someone is already sick, why stigmatize the person? This thing boils down to some women too going through some stigmatization from their families. I know a particular family that the mother single-handedly raised, is it about 8 children? No, in those people give birth a lot when the husband died. This woman single-handedly raised all her children. Thank God none of them died. They became something. Some of them married rich, some of them become rich. But guess what? Only for one pastor from nowhere to come and tell these children that the mother is a witch when she's supposed to be eating the fruits of her labor at old age. The woman was abandoned. Old woman. She died abandoned. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying is that that is from my place. I don't know if it happens in other places. That happens to children. They throw them out of the house. They walk alone. Some of them they get killed. Some of them, anything happens to them. There are such things as body parts harvesters. They can kill these children, just harvest their part and self. That's what's happening to a lot of children out there where I come from. I don't know about in other places, but I'm talking about what I have witnessed, and I'm very knowledgeable of that is happening. So if you want to approach this through building capacity that has been built in the system, in the professional sector, then the collaboration, if you want to achieve rescuing these children from these, demonic acts and barbaric policies. Okay, they made it their cultural beliefs. What I will tell you is that you have to go there. You can help the students by still even recognizing and respecting their gullible and nonsense tradition. You can still do that, but your aim is that how can you save the next child who is a victim? You remember that even in the Bible, Jesus was sitting down with the tax collectors. People say the Pharisees say he should have sat down with them and dined with them and all that. But his aim was to win them to him, to himself. So that is one thing I want to tell you today. As a professional, as an individual who God has touched, that need to rescue these children going through this thing, you don't go there fighting or talking bad of, trying to talk bad, because already they are formed. This thing has been happening, that have been going on for ages before you were even born. So let's say someone like me wants to go there. I won't go there trying to dig up what I didn't even create. My aim is that how can I save the children that are going through this thing without provoking that they are gullible and, you know, unbelievable culture and traditional beliefs. You should be tailored. You should be smart about it. You should be tailored. Your action as a professional, as an adult, as a person, it should be tailored to fit the cultural context. But your aim is that you're going to serve the children. So this will ensure they are both effective. You are doing something that is effective but in a respectful manner. Because this place, they have such thing as village heads, village chairman, people in place we need to respect, and they are the one enforcing these principles that are hurting these children when it occurs. So how do you do? Do you go fighting a old title man? No. You should, you know, when you know better, you behave better. Alright. That is what I'm trying to say. Or you want to go to some part of the country that early child marriage is implemented and is allowed, that's accepted over the years. How do you save the next child from being married off to some? The most painful part of that child marriage is that they marry these children to some old men, old enough to be their great grandfathers. That's suffocating. Think about it. When for someone like me, when I think of some cultural beliefs that are suppressing people, if I think about it, I feel like you blindfold me so tight. You seal my mouth, then you choke my ears closed, then you tie my hands and legs and throw me in a dark room, then you on a gas, and then there's a gas and smoke at the same time, then you lock me inside that room. That's how I feel. And this is suffocating. What do these people, you know, experience this thing for years? And even when it claims a life of a person, they see it as the consequences. And it's being justified. So that is the few best practices of child rights and their protection. And the next topic I'm talking about today is the challenges in child protection. What are the challenges? Number one, that is very common, is lack of resources. Lack of resources. Like I always say, the only thing that made me to experience all manners of child rights abuse and deprivation was lack of resources from my family. Even when I lost my mom, when I was young, but now when I think about it, I actually know what was wrong with her. It was due to lack of resources. She wasn't receiving a proper medical care. Another thing, because she couldn't go for her business when she lost my dad and she became serious, she died of malnutrition. She wasn't well fed, a sick person. So that is the part that pains me most. So, if it was now. And other incident that proves that she was starved at some point as a sick woman. Because I could look at it from my brother that was with her. The boy looks starved and hungry. You look at it from there. And knowing the kind of person I am, I would have loved to care for her that, all that would have come. But I don't live in the past. And I don't tend to always carry things I cannot control. At that point, that was outside my control. And there could also be possibility that if I was able to help her, she will still die. People still die even with all the money, all the good facility and all the resources. So I always balance it that way. So lack of resources in many regions and communities are lacking. Necessary resources, they are lacking. And this is a big challenge when it comes to caring for a child. To live a good life, you need resources. Resources as financial, human, or infrastructural resources to effectively implement child rights protection measures. That's one of the challenges. Then the second one is communication barriers. Communication barriers between different professionals, parents, teachers, caregivers, adults, then the children themselves. Because effective child protection requires a seamless communication between agencies, child rights agencies, professionals, families, and the children. For instance, I went to a family, my sister's place, during Xmas period. I spent days with them. I noticed that there was a seamless communication between her and her first child. That child can communicate it to me in her absence, and I will understand. I remember, because when I went there, I noticed she was tired, the children are expressing her, and I told her to relax. That's what I did. And I will take care of the things in the house, and she should just relax. She was breastfeeding, the child is troublesome. So I was making a meal. Unfortunately, the thing got, the smoke became much like that, and I had to open. It was in the living. I had to open the back door of the kitchen. The girl told me like, "No, don't open the back door. Mosquito will fill the house." She knew. And this is the child I feel, because she always scattered the house, because she doesn't know anything, that she's young. She knew. I said, no. I was wondering that my sister is asthmatic, and the baby was in the parlor, so I didn't want it to start choking, so I had to open the door. And just the way she said it, I have to run out of that kitchen the next minute, because the mosquito that came from the back door to that kitchen was much, and I have to flee the kitchen after them. So there's now in between the little girl and herself, there is a seamless communication and understanding. That means communication is when we both understand ourselves. When we understand ourselves, we are on the same mode of understanding of a particular, subject or child rights strategy. We all know the children. We are training your children. They should understand you, what you are saying. That even if you ask their child, what did they say? They make sure that they can say it, they can practice it, and they can even tell the person trying to do it wrong that no, it's like this, not like this. Even when I have to be the one to shower her, there is a place for house clothes, there's a place for outing clothes. For me, I just went. I saw that because I would like it. It's Christmas period. That's how I want her to dress and all that. So I went to the one that is catching my eyes, like, okay, let me wear this dress. She said, no, auntie, this one is for outing. And this other side is for house. And I respected that. And because I wanted her, I didn't argue with her, because that's what she knows. Because I respected that. But I wanted her to dress that period, it's Christmas. And I would want a child to look. Especially if the things are there. There's the clothes, whatever, the hair stuff, if they are there. So I just wish you should wear more of, not just on Christmas Day. So I have to tell the mother that this is how this is how we want the child to dress in this period, that just look good and better than she look good, but this Christmas period it just an idea that and she bought to it. So I didn't violate what that child had been taught. So she has to be the one to communicate with her that you have to wear this one. You wear from that particular drawer this period. Then on Christmas they wear Christmas clothes. What you said, but it's out include. It's a word like that, and all that. So that means she understands the mother, so she can communicate to you. That means even if the mother is not around, she cannot go against what she has already communicated to her. The same thing with you as a professional, as a person working under an agency of child right protection. The same thing as a caregiver. Communication. You break it. Let there be a seamless communication between all these factors. Because a silos between these different factors or lack of clear communication can impede child right protection. Everybody will just do what they don't even know, because a person who acts based on their knowledge, that is it. And sometimes some people even people just do what they know how to do, and they will do it and say they're doing best things. But sometimes some of the things can be wrong and harmful. So there have to be a seamless communication between these organizations. The number 3 challenges is social stigma. In many societies, topics like child abuse or neglect are often, considered taboo. How do you even communicate there? This is very challenging. This makes it challenging for the victims or concerned individuals like us to speak out and communicate openly, to acknowledge and tackle these problems. You need some skills here, some strategic moves. Another thing I would say that when it comes this work we are looking into, as a Christian sitting here, if you do not have the help of God, you cannot do nothing. If you are raising, it takes, like I say, it takes God, it takes the leading of the Holy Spirit to raise children. And it takes also the leading of the Holy Spirit to rescue the victims, then the next victims and all that. So if you are in a community that they don't talk about child right abuse, they see it as taboo. When something is a taboo, it comes with punishment, repercussion if you go against it. So who want to, let's say the repercussion of talking about these things to put iron on your neck. Who wants to be burnt alive? Nobody. But you still need to want to save a child, no, don't you? So you will be needing the ultimate thing you will need is the leading of the Holy Spirit, honestly. The sorting things, the sorting where people are running away from, you will enter there, you are able to, because in this matter, I don't think knowledge enough, going to school enough to acquire a particular course will help in some of these situations. So it will help to even overcome the challenges, some of these challenges. You just need God. You just need God. Or some story, when you read some stories, you're like, this is not nice. From where to where? What is the sense behind this thing that is happening? What is the sense behind these rules? This belief? What's the sense behind this mindset? Is it that so when they were making these rules and these laws, the note of whoever made that thing was losing? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. For instance, I watched one video of the auntie of that little girl burning a candle and dropping it on the private part of the 5-year-old girl. Like, are you nuts? Oh, what is that? Are you a demon? Are you possessed by the evil spirit for you to think something like that, even carry it out? Some of these cultural beliefs like that, or this mindset is like that, is wicked. So you need God to soften, and it's hardened on them. They are hardened. Their mind is hardened already to carry out these things. So you just need God to soften them. And so let them see the brighter side of the opposite behavior. Yes, that's what I always say. We need God. So the next challenge is varying legal frameworks. Different jurisdictions may have varying laws related to child rights and protection. Different set of people, different group of people, they may have their own, and at the end of the day, some of the laws like I'm talking about is harmful, it's painful, it's suppressing, it's killing and suffocating. Those are some of the challenges. So this can make cross-border, or it can also violate the international collaboration as well. It could be a cross-border or international collaboration challenging. It could be challenging, yes. So another challenge is technological threats. We all know this one. With the rise of digital age as of now, every child has access to the tech, network, social media. So there are this new trend like something like cyberbullying. Yes, cyberbullying. You get gadgets for this children. Make sure there's such thing as parent control. Make sure until a child is 18, that child still needs you to be on the right path of life. No child can ever raise his or herself alone. No, it's not possible. A child needs an adult, no matter what. Even if you want to spoil this child with so many things, make sure that you are in control of what your child, be in control of what your child is doing at all times. Make sure it's the right thing. If you leave them, they will misbehave. So because there's on technological trade, there are cyberbullying or online predators. I remember as at S2, there's such thing as to go. Yeah, to go there. I did to go. There were online predators. There are some people that would just message you as a child then. But the thing is that the to go I was doing, it was an adult that helped me to open it. So none of my communication, I was communicating with my classmates. So anything strange my communication with my classmates was not hidden at all. Everything was open to that adult. So there's some communication that I'll be questioned. Why is this person saying? Who is this person? So you get to know there's an online predator. What if there could be an online predator that want to even pass through your child to harm your entire family. So but if you are in control, you can arrest it on time. That's what I'm saying. When you are exposing to your children, which is good, there's a good part of technology and there's a bad part of it. You shield them. You communicate with them, you educate them, you let them know the what they should do that the what they shouldn't go into. So in my students, the last thing I will say is that when we address that's not the last thing. So what I was saying is that addressing this requires not just traditional. When you want to address the challenges that affect child rights protection, it does not just require traditional child protection approach. It also requires an understanding of the digital world we are in. Also requires that, and you as a person, you have to key in into this new development, for we to be able to raise the children we are having right now. So, moreover, why they are clear best, why what I'm talking about is like the clear best practice, and there might be more in child protection. And these have also been identified and championed over the years. Whatever I've said it from the beginning of this video, they've been practiced and they've been happening. They are not new. Their effective implementation can often be, they can often be impeded by various challenges. The challenges I've mentioned and many more. So when we recognize and address these challenges, it's essential when you recognize it to be essential for the safety and well-being of children everywhere. So this is the end of this broadcast for today. My name is Rebecca Udom, as always. I'm a child protection child protection professional. I'm a family psychology specialist, and I am also, by God's grace, the founder of Rebecca Udom Foundation. We focus on helping vulnerable children, vulnerable families, abused, neglected, forgotten, those families, those children that life issues has made them vulnerable of any kind. That's what we focus on. And I will say that I cannot do it alone. My organization cannot do it alone. We need people with good heart. God sends people that God has touched their heart. We need if God is touching you to be our sponsor, if God is touching you to volunteer, if God is pushing you to even donate to help children through us, we are open. And if you want us to, like this year, what's on our calendar is to go to schools, to communities, to gathering, to educate children, to educate adults. That's one of the things we're doing this year on our calendar. If you want us to come speak to your school, if you want us to come speak to your teachers in your school, we are open. Reach out to us on this platform: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, or even our email, and we will be there to respond to you. Thank you very much for joining us for today. I believe and I trust you're going to have a very good week ahead of you. Thank you very much.